G'day guys, hope all is well. Wanted to take you through a couple of the scenarios across the top 10 that I'm looking at, and just to inform you as to just what is, I suppose, in my perspective anyway, what I think's going on, or what is. I'm just going to read the charts. That's what I do. So let's get on with it. Yeah. Anyway, we got 6100 as support down here. Look, test one. I know it was messy here. It's not a tradable level, but we found support there. Support again here. And obviously we saw that sell-off. We didn't get there. We saw the massive buying coming in on Monday. And now we're sitting just in the upper reaches of that resistance after yesterday going through it and then coming back down. What does it actually mean? Well, not a great deal right now. It just means we're still within that range. We're holding that range, and we just continue to consolidate. Now, if I go and have a look at this on some other time frames, yesterday I watched this pull back into this cradle zone for the first time after the big push up, and I was hopeful to see it move up, and it did. And if I actually go to the 15-minute, you'll actually see that when it did go up, it went up pretty well. There was a fair bit of buying activity came pumping in. Since then, we've just been meandering along, not doing a great deal. We meandered down, we're meandering back up. But still, that low hasn't been broken yet. Now I look at the 8-hour as well, and I see this bullish candle just inside of that, roughly around that cradle zone. No, by the way, this is not something that I'm looking to trade. I'm just reading this chart, analyzing this, because for me, the first pullback in that cradle zone, with the bullish candle especially, can really dictate what comes next. One or two things. I love to see it move back in and then move away, because aside from this spike, this can be our high. We'll start to see a new trend starting to form with a higher low pushing on again, and that's really what I want to see. I want to see it continue on for a long time, of course, but this is the first test, and I put a lot of weight on the first test. If it's a healthy trend, if it's a strong, it is more likely to be a strong trend if we pull back in and then move away quite nicely. So we're sort of my eyes are all in right now, getting tongue-tied on this 8-hour. Again, not looking to trade it right now, just reading this chart as for what I see until we get above this top level of resistance at that 68.40 roughly. We're still in that range, and that's all that needs to be said from my point of view. Now, let's see if anything changes across the top 10 and see if there's any opportunity there, because there may be. Ethereum looking pretty ho-hum, pretty average, pretty ugly, if I'm to be honest, and I am. So it's not really much there going on. And actually, let me just see if there's any flat levels forming. This is big. I want to see Ethereum. No, we've pulled in, we've moved. Very similar to Bitcoin, just maybe a little bit more upward momentum here on Ethereum, but again, nothing really of that much interest. Bitcoin Cash is just pretty ugly, and in actual fact, Bitcoin Cash has pulled back into that cradle zone, then the downward way. If you look at Bitcoin, it's pulled, we've got it above these moving averages. They've just gone in the correct direction, the 10 above the 20, but nothing. I'm not interested in crossing about moving averages, by the way. I'm interested when they're fanning out, like over here, and trading from those areas. So Bitcoin's actually got the moving averages fanning, but for a downtrend, a bearish candle, we haven't broken the lows yet. That's going to be interesting to see across the rest of the market. With EOS, we ran into that resistance again. Neither bearish nor bullish right now on this particular chart. Cardano is up 1%, no big deal. Just holding, again, ran into that resistance and retreated from there on that pump earlier on in the week. Nothing again on this time frame, and the 4 hours just grinding, but it's just there's no resemblance of any good conditions for me just yet. Stellar Lumen's up 1% as well. Had another bullish day yesterday. Sorry, another buyer day yesterday. And we pulled back in here like we have done on a couple of these, and we've moved on since then. I want to see Bitcoin follow suit here. Stellar Lumens has led Bitcoin. It led Bitcoin back here. Oh, sorry, I'm on the 4-hour chart. It led Bitcoin back here when it broke up before. Sorry, back here when it went into an uptrend first before Bitcoin did. I'm hoping that maybe history will repeat itself, and Stellar grinding higher now will also have Bitcoin going in the same direction, but it's not a strategy. I'm just hoping that happens. With Neo, we've got lower high, lower low, pulling back into this cradle zone now. Again, I'm not looking for trading opportunities just here. I'm just sort of seeing across the top 10, are we all in agreement, or are we sort of arguing with each other? And so far, we got a bit in agreement, a couple that are arguing. When we go across and look at IOTA, you've got support right here, right in that cradle. So it's looking pretty average. There's not a great deal to say there. And Ripple actually has performed. We saw it shoot up, and we have seen it continue to climb. It's holding its ground here As you can see on the 4 hour, it has had that pullback, that first pullback, that bullishness, and then it has continued to move. Again, not trading this right now. Litecoin is looking a little bit more sour than Bitcoin in the sense that it shot up, pulled back, and it's broken those lows. So coming back to Bitcoin and across the top 10, they're very much in a similar sort of vein right now. That first pullback has occurred. Bitcoin has got itself up in that upper echelons of that range. But again, for me, it's a time to be patient. There will be opportunities that will present themselves, and if you're a trader and you're watching these markets, it's a really important time to be looking for smaller profits. I did a video for members recently about taking 1-to-1, 2-to-1, or better yet, no matter what your trading strategies are, we're not getting big runners at the moment. So not looking for those big home runs. Going back through your last 10 trades, because you should take screenshots of all of those so you can see what they are, so you can actually go back and get this information, and working out what would have got you the best result. Would it be scaling out fully at 1-to-1, taking your profit 1-to-1 all out, taking it all out at 2-to-1, 3-to-1, or a combination of scaling out and then taking more later on? Now, these are the sorts of things that they're detailed, and you need to have the results you need to have the screenshots to track these and to actually ask yourself the correct questions. Trading's not just about finding strategies, it's about amending what you're doing when the market suggests to. I'm trading what the market is suggesting to me at the moment, and it's suggesting for me personally when I find trades to look for smaller targets and get in and get out. Chipping away is not a problem. Hemorrhaging money slowly, death by 1,000 cuts is. So might be time to consider your trading, scaling back from looking for those big home runs, and start to consider some of the things that have been working for you in the past, had you have amended your targets prior to that. If you've got the trading records, you can do that. If you've got the screenshots, you can do that. I wish you all the best. Have a great day. Bye for now.